What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review for this week's episode of the 1,000-Year Blood War anime. Another banger episode once again. We see Renji's, I guess you could say, true Bankai this episode. And yeah, man, I love this episode. It looked amazing. Some amazing art and animation. We actually got a little bit of Sakura in this episode, which was nice to see for this core. And yeah, now, before we jump right into the episode itself, there's a couple things I want to talk about real quick before we jump right into the actual episode. So, as you guys may know, the first episode of the dub finally aired today. Finally got the first episode it aired today. And I'm not going to do this every episode, but I figured for every episode, but I figured I'd at least do for the first one, since we had a lot of characters that we either haven't heard or that either made their return for the first time in the Blood War anime, or, you know, just new characters in general that I want to top off the dub voices. Because I didn't watch the entire episode, I more or less just skipped to a handful of parts that I wanted to check. First of all, you know, you guys know that the voice of Nobara voices Bambi, the dub, she was phenomenal as well, man. Nice revisit that scene. But let's get to the big ones. You guys are probably curious that you guys haven't watched the episode yet dubbed, about Hiyori and Yuri. Now, it seemed like Hiyori's crew, it seemed like everybody returned for the dub. At least I think they did. At least sounded pretty close to them. Hiyori, I'm kind of iffy on whether or not it was Laura Bailey or someone else, because it sounded really close to Laura, enough that where I think it might have been her returning, but I think they might have recast her. Either way, if they did recast her, they got someone that basically sounded very similar to Laura Bailey's performance as Hiyori. So she sounded great. Yuri did actually return this episode as Keigo. He did return. I was so happy. It seems like all three of them, him, Tatsuki, and the other guy, it seems like all three of them managed to get their original voice actors returning. Nobody got recast. So I'd say only one character getting recast, bro. I'd say that's a W. I'd say that is a W, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah. Now, we also got here a couple of new story writers for the first time, at least the dub. The short lolly one, I don't know if we actually got her name yet. She seems to be voiced by, I'm pretty sure she's voiced by Cherami Lee, who, you guys know how much I love her. Voice of Asuna. She's perfect. She sounds great in the show, man. You guys know I loved her as Masaki, when she was voicing her. But she sounded great once again here, man, and yeah, she sounds amazing. But then again, I am of course biased. Now, Giselle. I'm pretty sure this was the first time we heard Giselle speak in this episode. And he's actually voiced, or her, I don't know. Well, I don't know what the fuck this character's pronouns are, or what the hell did even is their gender. It seems like nobody can, like, agree on that. It seems like it's like with that one dude in Sully where everyone's just arguing about this character's gender. Like, is he a man, is he a woman, this, that, and the third. Anyway, whatever the case may be, Giselle is voiced by Casey. I forget his last name, but you guys know him as the voice of Shinji in the Netflix dub, as well as Emporio in Part 6. Would you guys ever watch my JoJo reviews? You guys know how much I love Casey. Was constantly praising him. He's quickly become a voice actor for me to keep my eyes on, man. He always impressed me with his performances. So, and he sounded pretty good as Giselle. Although I will say, definitely nobody's going to confuse Giselle for a woman now, especially with his voice, because, you know, that's definitely a man's voice coming out of Giselle. But interesting about Giselle, because about Giselle, is that actually, if you guys didn't know, Casey is actually trans. If I remember correctly, he is a trans man. If I remember correctly, could be wrong on that one. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure he is a trans man. So given that, I'd say it's kind of fitting that he's voicing Giselle for that kind of reason. But regardless, man, he sounded great as well, man. So yeah. Dubs all around for the dubcast, and Alex sounded pretty good as Shinji once again. Wish that was Roger Craig Smith. I was kind of hoping that maybe after everyone was complaining with the first core, they would have gone dub the Union for the second core. Still no. Weird that they're like dubbing that apparently some of their other shows that they're putting on even this season from Viz, at least the ones that they're like publishing or whatever, are Union. So I don't know what's up with Bleach and why they refuse to make this dub Union and just bring back all the original voice actors. I don't know. Maybe it's a money thing. Like I said, Viz has always kind of like taken Bleach for granted in its fan base. They've always never really treated as well as Naruto or whatever. But I don't know what that's all about. Maybe Core 3. Once again, people keep bitching about it. Maybe Core 3 will go Union, and then we'll finally get most of the original voice cast to finally return again. But at this point, I doubt it. Regardless, man, now let's get into the actual episode. I wanted to quickly talk about that real quick. So we start the episode off with Kisuke and Urahara as they manage to finally get the map of the current topography of the Serete after, you know, the Quincy's destroyed it. We hear some of the conditions of some of the current captains. Obviously, Soifan is injured. They mentioned Toshiro's spiritual presence disappear. They mentioned that Rangiku's condition is unknown, which, given that makes me give hope that she might still be alive. And even though Kubo did a drawing of her right after that episode aired, and whenever Kubo does drawing character, that usually means that the character's dead. Right after a character's dead, like he did for Bambi, he did one for Kamamura. I'm slipping on that woman's name, the one from Squad, from the original J 13. I'm slipping on her name, Yachiru, whatever her name was. All those other characters, but all of them were of just the one character. But with Rangiku's, it was her in front of a mirror. So I don't know. There might still be some hope that Rangiku might actually still be alive. Given Kubo's drawing was a little bit different than he usually does with the mirror and everything. Maybe representing her in between life and death. And they said that they didn't straight up say she's dead. They just said the condition is unknown. Hopefully Rangiku's still alive, bro. Come on, we can't lose Rangiku. She is a baddie among baddies, bro. And bro, come on, you can't kill her after that amazing moment she had with Toshiro, bro. Come on, dog. You can't do this to me, Kubo. Anyway, so maybe Rangiku is still alive. Who knows? I'm fully expecting that she's dead, but maybe, maybe she'll live to fight another day. Hopefully. I do hope we do get like a straight answer though by the end of this core though. Hopefully. Maybe when Toshiro comes back. I don't know. But regardless of such, man, eventually Mayuri is able to get in contact with Shunsui, and once again just roasts the guy like, bro, I gotta say, Mayuri, the man is just done with taking other people's shit at this point, bro. Like, in the first core he was roasting Yamamoto for not finishing Yuha like thousands of years beforehand, and now he's out here giving Shunsui shit for sipping tea with the enemy, bro. It's just like, oh, glad to see you're done sipping tea. By the way, our forces are now down to 30%. Like, bro, that's just going. Anyway, so he connects him with the rest of the Soul Reapers and basically gives them a map of the topography with the location of all the squad barracks that I guess are not completely destroyed, and tells the remaining Soul Reapers, regardless of their squad, to go to their nearest barrack to regroup and get their orders from a superior officer. After that, we cut back right to where we left off last week with Kensei and Rose meeting up against the Luchador, which, yes, I know we get his name, Master Masculine, the superstar, but I don't know, I like calling him the Luchador since he has the mask, like a Luchador. And plus, he even gets pissed off about it getting ripped about a luchador with the mask mistaken with him. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep calling him the luchador. It's like the dude survives past this episode anyway. So anyway, after we get through the recap of what we saw last week, Kensei unleashes his Bankai, which looks pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really cool. Before the luchador goes, rips off his jacket or his cape or whatever the fuck that thing is called, and goes for a drop kick to Kensei. And no lie, I love this transition they did to the episode card after Bleach 18 rages at ringside, man. The colors and everything here, and he just looked fantastic. He goes for the drop kick, but Kensei blocks it easily and then gets pissed off about, like, you're telling me this idiot lost to an attack like this, before he just starts bodying the luchador with his punches. And bro, and if you guys don't know anything about like boxing or anything, like, bro, if there's a quick way to get rid of your opponent or to really soften them up, body shots. Body shots are probably more important than headshots because, if they can't breathe where the lungs are in the midsection, bro, they fucked. It's an easy way to get your opponent gassed. So with him, the way this dude was punching him, bro, yeah, bro. The way he was acting when he got punched in the stomach, bro, that's an easy way to knock the wind out of somebody. Just go for body shots, man. Midsection shots. Just keep aiming for that, bro, and you'll fuck him up real quick. Which is exactly what he does, and he explains how his Bankai Tenken Tachikaze, if I'm pronouncing that right, it crams the force of the explosions of his sword into his fist, and just unleashes a barrage of endless attacks as long as his fist stays in contact with him, which he does before he sends him careening into a wall, and you can see blood all over his midsection as James is crying, Mista! I'm very curious to know who's going to be voicing of the dub, man. That I'm very curious about, which I think we'll find out next week, I think, because I'm pretty sure James was in the second episode of Corp 2. I might be wrong, though, but I think we might see him next week, hopefully. Because I'm very curious to know who they'll be getting to voice him. Anyway, so after that, he thinks the battle is won. He's like, oh, the enemy's so weak. This is when Shuhei finally starts to wake up and tells him that he needs to get rid of James first and not the Luchador. As James like, please get up, Superstar! And no, like the animation here looked really cool. So you see his like mask like light up and everything. It looked really cool. The animation they did right here looked really cool. As he just throws Kensei into a wall with like a single punch. As we get his old title card of who he is, Sternrider S. Master Masculine, the Superstar. Kensei easily gets right back up with the kippa before charging right towards the luchador, but he ends up disappearing before reappearing right in front of him, using an attack called the Star Eagle Kick, kicking him right into the midsection with his knee, and then which Kensei manages to counter, uses his punches once again, but this time he's able to block them, breaks, just completely destroys his arm before he sends him down to the ground, hits him with a fucking coup de grace. I at first thought he was gonna go for like a frog splash or like a crossbody type thing, but nah, it looks like he got his knees up like he was going for a coup de grace, bro. R.I.P. his midsection, bro. And he says, you don't need that. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, bro, because I'm pretty sure you fucking killed him. So then Rose just rips James right in half with his Zanpakuto, which is pretty funny. And then which isn't the first time we would see some crazy shit going on with James. And then of course the Luchador is pissed like, how dare you harm an innocent fan? And then Rose tells him loud and noisy guests are not welcome to my dance. And I gotta say this, bro, like I don't really know much about Rose because, you know, whatever, because you guys know I haven't finished the main series, and I'm like, I am getting there, I'm slowly making progress though. I'm actually a little bit into like the I guess like the backstory arc with a lot of the 100 years ago when Shinji was captain, originally had long hair and all that. I've been really digging this art, man. I just haven't found the time to get back on it. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But so regardless, it was actually kind of cool to find out that Kensei actually found Shuhei when he was a kid. I guess that's how he started training and everything. I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Regardless of such, man, I don't really know much about Rose, but I gotta say, I don't really particularly care for him either. But I gotta say, man, he has probably one of the most unique and like interesting and just cool Bankais out of every one of this series, man. Like his Bankai's real cool. I don't know if this is another addition that the anime made, like with Shinji's Bankai, or this was in the original manga as well. But his Bankai is really cool. First off, he like creates all like these golden people with like, I don't know what this shit is, man. Obviously this is all done with CGI, but the CGI looks really cool, man. He uses his Bankai, Kinshara Butodan, if I'm pronouncing that right, and he has like this like these two like floating hands right behind him as he has like his little stick thing for conducting the orchestra, or like his little fucking concert he's got going on, bro. Says that this is like a dance trope of death, and at first he like has them all spinning around him, throwing water at him, before eventually he then goes from that, has them all just burn the dude to death, or just burn him alive basically, which really cool stuff, man. Of course you have Luchador going about, like, how is this possible? No, Zanpakuto can manipulate both fire and water at the same time. Mentions that he thinks there must be some deception going on. He does, and Rose does tell him that his Bankai, or that his Zanpakuto is a technique of deception, or his technique rather is a technique of deception. But deceptions are always what captivate the hearts and wills. The howling magma is the wrath of earth. The deceptive melody that echoes in your ear. And I think that's pretty much when he figured out that most likely if you basically negate his Bankai and his technique, all you gotta do is just get rid of your eardrums. You can't hear the music. Then his deception has no effect on you, which is exactly what he does. And then before he hits him with this Death Star beam that he's got going on, that literally goes right through him, a perfect star shape right in the middle. I honestly thought Rose was dead here and now, man, but no, he somehow is still alive, even though he just got blown right, like an energy blast, go right through his chest. Somehow the man is still breathing. When the Luchador goes to finish the job, his attack is blocked by Renji. Oh my god, bro. Renji looks so fucking cool. But the key animation of the main show when he pulls up his visor, man, which, first of all, I am so happy to see Renji wearing a visor again, man, because honestly, I don't know about y'all, but Renji, I always thought looked the coolest at the start of the series, man, when he had that visor he had right above his eyes before it got switched to a white bandana. It still looked cool, but I always thought the visor, glasses thing he was wearing always looked cooler. I will say the red bandana he was rocking, basically throughout the full bring arc to now was also pretty cool, but I'm glad to see Renji's once again rocking the visor, man. It looks so fucking badass, man. That tiger print he's got going on, bro, looks so badass. ass. I love Renji, man. He's just awesome. Also, I forgot to mention this, but also the song that was playing during Rose's concert as he was working through his Bankai really dug the song that was playing there, man. I really like that song, man. It sounded really cool. So then Renji tells Rukia to take Kensei and Rose and get them out of there while he takes care of Luchador himself. And Rukia says, understood, he's no match for who you are now, he's all yours, and she takes him away. Gotta love Rukia gassing up her man, which is actually funny. I actually saw this on Twitter because like yesterday when people were posting about this episode coming up, people were like posting like this like one of the little sketches Kubo sometimes does for like the volumes. I don't know if this is in the chapters as well, but in the volume sometimes like at the end of the chapters or whatever, he'll like put these like little like mini comics, like these little mini sketches that are usually more comedic, or where it was actually Rukia telling him like, hey, if you don't think this type of print isn't cool, don't tell him. He actually thinks it's cool. Gotta love Rukia, man. Anyway, the Luchador tells Renji that he can fight as dirty as he wants, as you know, he is the villain, and villains are cowards and fight dirty. So then Renji tells him, all right, I'll fight as dirty as Renji says, I'll fight like a coward and defeat you. And he's like, oh, you must have said something cool, but yes, you can tell I have my eardrums around, so I can't hear shit. He calls up James, where we see that James is somehow still alive, as he's like bouncing around on his top half, as he says, he's like, which somehow makes his ears miraculously heal up. He apparently has Wolverine's healing factor through James, and he's able to once again regrow his eardrums, and now everything is right as rain. And then right after that, he charges up and everything. right after that's all done, Reggie then just decapitates James. This was pretty fun, but somehow, someway, James still doesn't do James in, man. The man still somehow returns, bro. I don't know how this is even working, but and of course the Luchador is shocked by this, be like, how dare you, that was dirty, you bastard. He's like, bro, you told me I could fight dirty. That was pretty funny. We get back to Rukia. She drops off them at the little area that Hisane has built up for healing the injured and wounded soldiers. We get back to Renji. He sliced up the Luchador's midsection. Blood is spewing out of there. As we also see, it looks like he also cut up part of his mask. And as you guys know, the mask to Luchadors, that shit is sicker. And the same applies to the Luchador, as he is extremely pissed off and pissed off at Renji for tearing up his mask. We once again see James is somehow still alive, as we see multiple clones of him coming out of, I guess, the main James's head. Don't know how this works. They once again start cheering up the Luchador, and he charges up, and we see him in his final form with the cape and everything. Well, right before that, we see him. He's Chain's mask. He's now wearing this black and red mask. Looks pretty cool. He now has a star chest right between his pecs, and even has like little star things where his nipples should be. A little bizarre. But whatever. This is also when we get the Sokka Man. The animation here looked amazing as he's just hitting Renji with a flurry of punches through walls. Like I said, the animation here looked amazing. Once then starts hitting with a flurry of punches like it's fucking Star Platinum chain. Star! As he's doing that, but Renji manages to block him before he once again goes into his final form. We see what his form looks like, which gives him a cape and everything. His form actually was really cool, man. Especially the red. I love the red that he used, man. His form looks pretty cool, man. So he then and then of course we got James cheering him on like, "You're so good, superstar!" As he then conjures up like the star thing, and then as it slowly descends onto Renji and James. So not only does Renji get hit with the blast, but James does, and it looks like it just completely vaporized the James clones, and looks like now the James are now dead. For real this time. They are now dead and buried. As they're like, I love what as this happens. Like, the first they're like, wait, what? And then as they're like slowly burning to death, they just say, Superstar. So anyway, he thinks that he's defeated Renji, but he hasn't. As we see Zabimaru's like head start to peer out from the smoke, man. And no lie, this shit looked fucking cool, bro. As we see Zabimaru start to form around Renji, as we see his Bankai's true form. We cut back to a flashback back to Ichibe as he tells Renji that his name Zaimaru isn't actually a lie, and it's not his full, and it's only one half of Zaimaru's true name. And Renji asks him how is it even possible. He tells him we found that he saw that Ichibei is the one that created the name Zanpakuto, as well as Shikai, Bankai, and basically came up with the name for every phenomenon that occurs within the Soul Society. And I also love this shot right here where we see like the camera panning up against Zaimaru as we see Renji's reflection of the sword man. That shot's really fucking cool, man. So he tells him that he's gonna tell him Zaimaru's true name, and that he's going to have to prove that he is worthy to summon it by that name. As we find out Zaimaru's true name is So-O Zabimaru. And obviously, if you guys play BBS or even Jump Force, you guys have already seen this form. I'm pretty sure this exact shot of Renji was used for the key visual or the art or whatever for his render in BBS, as well as I'm pretty sure he strikes his pose when he hits like his finisher or one of his specials or whatever in Jump Force as well. But I gotta say, it probably looks the coolest in the anime, bro, because with the lighting and everything, the smoke, the little bits of fire and everything, man. Oh, it just looks so fucking badass, man. Absolutely just love that. And then right after that, we actually get to see Renji gets a little bit of that. Now you feel like no more. I don't think it was exactly the #1 Ichigo song, but I don't know if it was a remix. It was definitely the same singer. I don't know if it was like a remix of #1. It was kind of hard to hear the song over, everything else going on after this part of the episode. But it looks like that. But either way, regardless of man, he gets his own like #1 theme basically, which no lie was pretty fucking awesome. Not gonna lie. Then the luchador comments that the Bankai is dangerous, and Renji says, "Yeah, it is. It took a lot of hard work before he was able to speak that name." So he goes charging right towards Renji, but Renji uses Zabimaru's hand to crush the luchador's one of the luchador's hand. And at this point, the man is fucking furious. At this point, man, it feels like he was disrespected. So it's like, you damn piece of shit! How dare you crush my arm? I don't give a shit about justice or villains anymore. You're so dead. This is pretty fucking awesome. So he goes once again charging towards Renji. And also, the voice acting here was phenomenal from his Japanese voice actor. Shout outs to the luchador's Japanese VA, man. He was amazing here. So he starts charging towards Renji. Renji then just impales him with Zabimaru's sword before then he conjures up Zabimaru's fucking head as like this electric thing. The effects once again looked amazing as it just clams down on him and he basically just disintegrates from there, man. Looked absolutely amazing. Once again, the song, bro, with Renji getting his own #1 theme, man. Ugh! Phenomenal, man. Excellent. Ben. So once again, we get another post-credit scene, this time actually not with Ichigo, but with Uryu. As we see that Yuha, I guess, absorbs James's essence before he disappears, and then in his place appears Hushmo. He tells him that Yuha has gone into sleep and that he can't be disturbed from his sleep. And then he kind of asks him why Yuha is so powerful. And Uryu doesn't answer him, and then we actually get a quick little flashback or whatever, where you actually get to see Uryu's granddad using the new art style, which was nice to see, man. I guess not even your grandfather knew or told you. And he's like, I suppose I could tell you since you are his successor. So, and that's where the episode ends, man. Don't know what he's going on about Yuha. Well, guess we'll maybe find out by the next week. Kind of surprised. I was actually thought we were going to get another Ichigo post-credit scene, but I'm guessing now that he's now on to the next member of the Squad Zero, maybe they'll just give him an episode, or we'll just skip to him during midway through the next episode or a future episode. I don't know how that's going to work. Or maybe we just won't see Ichigo again until he makes his new appearance with this new gear that we saw in the original trailer for Core 2 when that dropped last year or whatever. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Anyway, guys, this was another phenomenal episode, man. Absolutely loved it, man. Banger as always, man. The soundtrack was amazing. The animation was amazing. Everything was just amazing as always, man. Renji looks amazing, man. And yeah, I'm definitely curious to know what's going on with Uryu and Yuha, what that's all about. Anyway, guys, overall, I'm going to give this episode a 9.5 out of 10, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on my socials if you feel like it. Links out screen box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.